So one of the questions in my mind was, does each one of these yield components contribute equally to yield, or should we be focusing on a certain stage if maximizing yield is our question? And one of the most elegant experiments that I've seen to answer this question was actually done out of the UK in 2017. And they used these huge shade tents to actually block the solar radiation to the crop during critical growth stages. Here were the timings that they looked at. Kernel fill, several different options during flag leaf, stem elongation, no shading whatsoever. And what they found is that over 45% of yield loss was explained by shading that crop during kernel fill for just 10 days. So kernel fill, the start of flowering, the next four bars right there, those were each 10 days apiece. Stem elongation was for 35 days. So it really points at how important the end of the season is, kernel fill is. As part of the Maximum Wheat Yield Project, we asked the same questions of those Yen scientists, and we asked them to calculate what our different yield components were by the growing region. So we have the UK in blue, two of the Great Lakes regions in orange and gray, and then the Pacific Northwest in 2019 in blue. And what those scientists really pointed to is that our kernels per head and weight of each one of those kernels is really where they saw the most differentiation from the UK. And as a matter of fact, the scientists calculated that for every kernel per head we could gain, that was going to be about 3 bushels in our region, and every gram per thousand weight, that was going to be about 3 bushels per region. So it really points at how important these two yield components are. I think a great real world example of this is 2019. I don't know about your farm, but my farm, my research farm in Colfax, when I started walking that farm in March, April timeframe, not only did I think it was below average, but I honestly thought it was one of the worst crops that I had seen. We were really lacking tillers. Although we got planted on time in September, the really limited dry spell that we had in September meant that we didn't get germination well into November. We had horrible tillered wheat in our spring condition. We had insanely favorable grain fill condition. And when I started walking plots at kernel fill, we were putting on 5, 6, 7 berries across and had significant test weight. All in, the research farm ended the season above average. So going from a stand that looked worse that I'd seen in 5 years to above average.